This video was made possible by Mizizi International, the official African diaspora clothing brand. Visit mizizishop.com for more information. It is no secret that the African continent is currently at a critical crossroads. With a rapidly growing population and a booming economy on the horizon, energy demands are expected to soar. This comes at a time when climate change is already causing significant damage to local livelihoods, despite the continent having minimal contribution to the crisis. African nations must grapple with the challenge of providing affordable and reliable energy while also keeping emissions under control, a complex situation referred to as energy trilemma. Fortunately, amidst these challenges, a beacon of hope emerges from recent research, revealing that the continent can expand electricity access without exacerbating global warming. In fact, projections suggest that as much as 76% of Africa's energy could be derived from renewable sources by 2040, offering a promising pathway toward a more sustainable and resilient future. But what exactly does the research say? Which alternative sources should Africa consider for its renewable energy needs? And how can the continent realistically achieve the aim of generating 76% of its energy needs by 2040? In today's video, we will offer deep insight into these questions and many more. Before we dive into our topic today, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channels and ringing the bell to be notified about all our exciting future videos. Africa has the world's fastest growing population, with numbers expected to double by 2050. This means that by mid-century, a quarter of the world's population would live in Sub-Saharan Africa. This presents a major energy and infrastructure shortfall in the future decades. Right now, nearly 600 million people throughout the continent completely lack access to electricity. In addition, for many of those who do have access, it is unreliable or unstoppable, with frequent power outages and rolling blackouts. Such intermittent electricity is typical in metropolitan areas, whereas in rural places, obtaining any type of grid connectivity may pose a considerable challenge. Also, over the next decade, African energy demand is projected to surge by a third as Sub-Saharan Africa undergoes growth, development, and industrialization. To cope with this demand, power generation capacity will need to increase tenfold by 2065. However, to pursue these objectives while adhering to climate commitment and advancing global decarbonization efforts, Africa must employ a strategy of leapfrogging, bypassing the traditional phase of development reliant on extensive fossil fuel consumption. Unlike historical precedents, where nations enriched themselves and powered their economies through the burning of cheap and abundant fossil fuels, today's developing countries face the imperative of forging ahead without the same luxury. Consequently, to meet the increased demand for electricity that against the backdrop of sharp population growth, the need to develop local and national economies, and the need for sustainability, Africa has no choice but to embrace renewables. Fortunately, the continent possesses a wealth of renewable energy resources waiting to be tapped. Indeed, Africa boasts vast reserves of natural gas, often seen as a cleaner alternative to coal and oil, alongside abundant sunshine, wind, and valuable rare earth minerals like lithium and cobalt. These minerals are crucial for the development of renewable technologies such as solar panels and lithium-ion batteries used in electric vehicles and energy storage systems. And now, according to a new database of planned and installed renewable energy capacity across Africa, the continent is well on track to meet its ambitious energy leapfrogging targets. Statistics suggest that if all planned increases are completed without incident, several African countries might be completely decarbonized by mid-century. This database, known as the Renewable Power Plant Database Africa, is the first of its kind on the continent. It's a database of available, open access, and analyzed data on hydro, wind, and solar energy sources compiled by a team from Rwanda and Germany who are experts in the field of renewable energy scientific modeling. The Renewable Power Plant Database Africa includes key details such as geographic coordinates, construction status, and capacity in megawatts, enabling more precise and sophisticated modeling. This modeling indicates that certain countries with well-developed renewable energy sectors and strategic plans, such as Nigeria and Zimbabwe, are poised to potentially shift away from fossil fuels by 2050, given the substantial portfolio of clean energy projects. Moreover, in a scenario where all planned clean energy projects are realized and existing hydro, solar, and wind power facilities operate at maximum capacity, it is projected that renewable sources could meet 76% of Africa's electricity demand by 2040. This percentage breakdown comprises 82% of hydropower, 11% from solar power, and 7% from wind power. The hydropower has been the primary renewable energy resource to date, but falling costs for solar photovoltaics and wind turbines suggest that solar and wind have the potential to lead sustainable renewable energy sources. As such, these experts believe that hybrid solutions would be the best choice. To them, combining the benefit of hydropower with wind and solar would be a more sustainable option than hydropower alone, which can pose serious energy security risk when drought arises. But theory and practice are two different things. Indeed, although these experts have proved that it is possible for Africa to generate 76% of its energy needs to meet rising demand by 2040, how can the continent realistically make this happen? The experts behind the Renewable Power Plant Database Africa propose several key recommendations to make this a reality. Firstly, they advocate for international electricity sharing among African nations, emphasizing its necessity for ensuring a consistent and renewable electricity supply to all countries. Secondly, they stress the importance of moving away from solely economic-driven development strategies and instead integrating the diverse interests of stakeholders, including local residents, governmental and non-governmental organizations, and the general population. Past experiences have highlighted conflicts arising from the land-intensive expansion of renewable power plants, necessitating a more inclusive approach to decision-making. Furthermore, the team underscores the significance of incorporating the interests of various stakeholders affected by new energy projects, such as local communities and industries, to mitigate potential conflicts. Additionally, governments should exchange experiences across borders to prevent errors like the damming of the Nile River for hydropower, exemplified by the Aswan High Dam's disruption of sediment transport and threats to biodiversity and human safety. The Great Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, which is now under construction, is a recent noteworthy example of the necessity for cross-border collaboration and river management, particularly in the face of projected climate change consequences such as drought on hydropower plant performance. And lastly, emphasis is placed on the need for a fundamental shift in data management practices, advocating for the sharing and open accessibility of data globally. Access to high-quality data, including information about existing power plants, is essential for informed decision-making and strategic planning to guide future electricity development initiatives across the continent effectively. In summary, despite facing numerous obstacles, Africa is poised to emerge as a significant player in the global energy industry in the years ahead. Leveraging its favorable climatic and ecological attributes, coupled with its comparatively low population density compared to other major regions, Africa stands to become a powerhouse in hydro, wind, and solar energy production. If executed according to strategic plans, its clean energy output has the potential to be substantial and quick. Sprawling solar farms, shimmering like fields of giant sunflowers, will stretch across the continent, their panels drinking in the abundant sunshine and converting it into clean electricity. Towering wind turbines, like silent sentinels, will slice through the savanna winds, their blades whispering promises of greener future. Bustling cities will be bathed in the warm glow of LED lights, powered by geothermal plants that tap into the Earth's fiery heart. Many areas, once shrouded in darkness, will be illuminated by mini-grids fueled by the dancing of micro-hydropower turbines in local streams. The air will be cleaner, the skies bluer, and the continent will hem with the quiet confidence of a sustainable giant, a beacon of hope for a world striving for a cleaner tomorrow. Your perspective matters. Do you think Africa will be able to generate 76% of all its energy needs from renewables by 2024? Share your insights and thoughts in the comments below. For continued updates on global affairs and diplomatic developments, be sure to subscribe to the New Africa channel. Stay informed, stay engaged. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to bringing you more insightful content in the future.